is the Mountainside podcast, and joining us in studio is Nikki Sjoden. She's the founder of Harmony Yoga and Wellness, headquartered right here in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Nikki has helped so many individuals in their own wellness journey and has recently just climbed mountains in her own personal wellness. She was gracious enough to share all that with us during our conversation. She's an incredible friend, outdoor enthusiast, and I always enjoy anytime I get to spend with her. Today was great. Enjoy our conversation. One moment.
It's just, it's time for me to get back onto the things that fill me up.
Yeah, that's what I get out of this more than anything. It's like, screw all the other.
Yeah.
Honestly,
am I enjoying it? Yes. Okay, great. Keep going.
Exactly. And I'm going to enjoy this one. So, are you ready to roll?
Sure.
Just back in here after 5 years. Crazy. Welcome back. It's not that we haven't seen each other. It's just life is nuts, right?
Yeah.
You're a Mountainside OG. Returning to the studio, right? The original Nikki 2Ks.
Here I am.
And it's been a wild ride, right? In the last couple years. And we've grown a lot. I think, well, obviously if it was 5 years ago, we were next door in the closet, which was like tiny, one GoPro, 2 mics.
Yeah.
And now we have this whole like elaborate setup and cameras everywhere and upgraded mics and so it's awesome to have you back.
You're doing it.
Yeah. You're doing it too. Like, I mean, 5 years ago, I was so horrible at podcasting. I was such a horrible host. So this is very redeeming for me.
Nice.
Having you back in and actually giving you a proper platform and a chance to talk without me interrupting you and like all the bad habits that I had.
Yeah, but we get to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. I think it's just, we were just talking before we hit record. It's like just starting. Just start.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah. Without the end result in mind.
Yeah. Right? It shouldn't, I think we're so caught up in this social media age and like likes and how many people are watching. And now like even on Instagram, which I've kind of checked out of a little bit, it shows you your viewership for posts. Like, I don't know if it's on the professional side of stuff because we have a professional account. So there's like a little ticker down there. And it's like, if you if that's not as good as this one, then you don't feel as good about it or like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you think back to childhood, everything's performative.
Right.
We're in competition from pretty much the beginning, whether it's with siblings or you get into sports. I mean, I know that the more that I dig into my own self-growth and just really looking within and doing the work, one thing that I've recognized is being a gymnast from a really early age, I was judged from the beginning for perfection. So this like perfectionism is so ingrained in me. And even in gymnastics days, it was never good enough. I could have like a 9-6 routine, kill it. And it was like, well, back to the gym, back to the, back to the skill. You bobbled there, your toe wasn't pointed there. So it's just this constant. So it's really a cycle I'm focusing on breaking and like really leaning into the imperfection of everything, of life. Like nothing is really perfect. And if I'm my own inner critic and my own inner judge, I'm judging everyone else like I'm judging myself. And then it's like, is it ever good enough? Is it ever enough? Is it ever perfect? Well, no, that's not life. So then you're just like in this constant cycle of more, better, work harder.
Yeah, and you can polish anything to make it look great, right?
Yeah.
Like you can spend all this time editing video and all that sort of stuff. I do think competition is good, right?
Sure,
like for
totally.
a metric and like to drive you and keep you going.
Yeah, but if it holds you back from even trying.
But maybe not in social media, I think is kind of where it's at. Like if it's in a sport or something like that, like I get it, right? Or if you're a top performer or like you're trying to be the best, football player or golfer or whatever, right? Like that's healthy, right? Because you're actually out physically doing something. But if it's to gain likes or clicks, I don't know. I don't know if that's good for us.
But there's still a validation part in there,
I think that's what we all want, right? Yeah. Some sort of validation at some point.
Like me so that I know I'm doing good.
Right,
Yeah.
No, and it's crazy. It's like some of the biggest gambles that I've taken in here were podcasts that was like, oh, maybe we're going to get shut down or shadow banned for exposing this or giving these people a platform or something like that. And, or I guess canceled, not shadow banned. We get shadow banned no matter what.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But some of those episodes have done like the best, right?
Totally.
The ones that I'm like nervous about, like, oh God, should I really have this like former felon in who's now a street fighter, like fighting for underground organization? Like, it's wild, right?
Yeah. The
But turns out to be like one of the most amazing human beings that I've had in the studio. If you actually listen to his story for 3 hours, right? Like, so yeah, this has been a blessing, but thank you for saying yes from the beginning and coming back.
Well, when you tell me that you're anchoring in Evergreen and just starting this route here and bringing to light how much amazingness is in this town and in this community and just the ripple effect that we've all had, it's pretty awesome. I mean, you and I have seen it generationally in our families, and
it's so rad. Yeah. This is a special place.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't tell very many people that, and I don't do it publicly, but with us being, I guess, natives, which is kind of a weird term, but like us being natives to here, and going so many generations, like how many generations is your family? It's
4.
4, yeah.
So Grandpa built the house we live in, that my dad grew up in, that I grew up in, that now my nephews are growing up in. So
it's so rad.
It's deep. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's a different type of connection.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a different type of history. There's a different type of feeling. There's a different sense of pride. Right? I think. I don't think very many people are connected to their hometown as much as like you and I are, or maybe there is, and like probably rural communities. I guess this was kind of a rural. Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely like a rural spot. It's very special. But the amount of art that we're surrounded by and artists and successful people that have come out of here, and then I look at like, for example, what you're doing, right? Like in the last 5 years, your amount of growth in what you're doing in yoga, podcasting, YouTube channel, self-help, helping others. Like it's really fucking cool. Like not many people choose that path, right?
Yeah.
I think it's easy just to get put into autopilot and go to your 9 to 5, punch that ticket, and then buy shit at Target, right?
Yeah. And check out of that.
Right.
Like it just is so unfulfilling. And yeah, I mean, I've been self-employed since I was in my early 20s. So I always say I would make the worst employee.
Me too.
And when you're self-employed and self-navigating, you're kind of on a lot. It's almost more than the 9 to 5. So it's such an important thing to have this balance of time, energy, connection. One of the things I've learned in the last 5 years is how important it is to reset, to take that time to reset often and to not feel guilty for taking a break. Because I know that if I just grind myself and it's just constant, like, because I could always work. I can always be doing something and never really checks fully out. So yeah, to just be my own inner guide and recognize the energy I put off is the energy that I'm getting back. And if I'm stressed and trying to fit too much in, it's just going to create this ripple that comes back to me as stressed and never fulfilling the bucket that I'm trying to grow of like health and happiness and freedom being my biggest value. And, I've just the last few years, I've recognized that energy is our greatest currency. Our own physical energy is the greatest currency because everything else could be taken away.
I mean, I take that approach, I think, in so many different, especially being a parent. It's like if I'm going to come home, or like even you with your nephews, I know you don't have kids, but like they are such mirrors, right? Like if you come in with a negative attitude, they're going to shut down. It might not translate to them having a negative attitude, but they're not going to have a positive experience. So it's like, if I don't walk in the door and it's like, hey, what's going on? And you don't have to be on like level 10, but like something constant that so they know that you're like a cornerstone. Because if I drag all the shit home that I might go through in the day, like maybe bills or business or whatever, right? It's
They feel it.
they feel it right away.
Yeah. And they don't know. It's just like, oh, dad had a hard day at work. Like that's what my dad is still and was just the hardest working man. And thank goodness for that, right? We had a big family and it was just his grind and that's what he knew. And he was in a very different stage of life in his own inner work. And that was just where he knew that he needed to put all of his time and energy. And he was also self-employed. So it was always in the house and it was always a part of the conversation. And it was always just heavy and hard. And as a young child, I learned early on, like if I just take good care of myself and like I don't want to say small, but I didn't want to add to that. I didn't want to add to the disruption in the house. I didn't want to add to the stress. So it was like, if I can just be a good girl, and not that I was like following all the rules or being the
Of course
the
not.
the best girl, but like that's that early on programming of like, oh, I don't want to add to that. And how interesting is it as an adult now to go, we don't want to push that off onto their own image of
The
what
kid shouldn't have to worry about
overstressing
that, right?
or like, why are you so upset? And it's easy for the child to blame themselves. A lot of the times I was like, oh my gosh, are they fighting and arguing because of money? Because my gymnastics is so expensive, or because, like that can get so intertwined as a child and you don't really understand why. And so I think, again, like going back to that energy shift and just recognizing like I do, and maybe we could practice it really quick. But like
I'll try.
I do.
Okay, we got to take one quick pause because
Yeah.
I screwed up something. If you're not checking out the Mountainside podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell. We're back.
Let's
So
start
sorry,
fresh. Let's start with a fresh drop in.
Yeah, and then I have some questions for you on that.
'Kay.
Like, we're going to dive all over the place today.
Great.
So
Let's do it.
all right.
So because we're all energy, everything is energy, right? Like, and we are electromagnetic beings. We resonate energy, just like you're clapping to get that sound up. Like that sound and those waves are frequencies, are energies. And so that is us. And if our energy is constantly outsourced to everything happening outside of us, and we're just this like sporadic, vibrational,
Like just putting out fires?
Affected by everything else that's going on inside of us. When was the last time you like checked in with yourself? Right? So this centering practice, I call it, where I just check in with myself. I set one hand on my heart in the center of my chest and one hand on my low belly. Go ahead and do it.
All right, we're doing this.
And you just feel your like physical being, right? And like just hands to body is a first step to check in. And I do this anytime I'm going into a big class or a big meeting or I'm feeling out of sorts because now I know. So this practice has given me this gauge to know where my volume is. And am I like too high and too sporadic, or am I like right here and right grounded? Because all this currency, all this energy in our body is what we need to create the reality that we desire. So if you close your eyes or at least like bring them low and just feel. And so in this check-in is going, how do I feel today? Like, obviously my heart is racing a little more. My nervous system is high because we're on this really cool experience and we're being filmed and recorded. So there's this excitement and nervousness happening in my body. And then from this check-in, just taking a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth and feel that immediate settle. And we'll just do two more. Feel the breath breathe all the way into your chest and your belly. Inhale. And let it go. How do I feel? Right? And then you come back to the present and you're like, oh, wow, like I can handle a lot more. It's almost like this refilling of the cup to shift your energy. And something I learned through my dad being an electrician. My dad, my grandpas, my uncles, my brothers were all electricians. And so seeing them handle the physical electricity and connecting that to what our body is doing. If electricity isn't grounded, like what does a grounding rod do? Boom.
Yeah.
It brings it right there. It brings the energy into coherence. It gives it resonation. It's like strong. It's coherent, right in a line. And if we do that often, 2, 3, 4 times a day, 3 seconds, take 3 breaths, 5 seconds, let's say. If you want to go a little deeper, you can sit there a little longer. But then all of a sudden, your energy is right back into your own center. And you have a lot more alignment in everything else that you're doing.
It's something that I've practiced on and off. I guess I'm not as conscious of it because sometimes it feels like very woo-woo to me or almost like feminine to do something like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just a very much like I guess I'm a man, right?
You are a man. And hell yeah.
But I guess I do it really in prayer recently. I've been praying a lot lately. So that's kind of a form of it, but I have went down like the Wim Hof like rabbit hole and like some of his breathing practices and he's such an amazing like his story is wild. So yeah, I guess I have been practicing that for maybe like 3 or 4 years. And I think cold plunging might be what really got me into it. Cause I was like, I got to figure out how to manage this freaking pain, right? But maybe that's why I feel so good in the cold plunges because I'm breathing, right? But I guess I do kind of do that when I was talking about like going to reset before I go home to the kids. I will take a minute just to like, before I leave here or leave the airport or whatever, like trying to do everything with intention, whether it's the breath work that we just shared or a friendship. You know, I think it's okay. Like you and I went to breakfast the other day, which was awesome. There was no intent. It was just to like catch up. But my intention was like, just check in and see how Nikki's doing. Like that's the only thing. Right. But going into it with some sort of intention instead of just like walking in with like the blinders on, I guess. Right. Or thinking about what else is going on. Not that I was like trying to get anything out of it. I was genuinely to like check in with you because of everything that you've been through recently and just and being mindful of that. But I guess to bring it back full circle to being centered or grounded, like I do that before I go home. So I go home with intention of like when I walk through that threshold, no matter where it's at in the house, I'm going to be in a good mood and happy to see my kids. And that's the only thing I'm going to be focused on is that, right? Happy to see my wife, my kids, and that's it. Like forget all the other stuff that happened in the day, whether it was like extreme excitement, because that can be another thing too. Like I do some pretty exciting shit, some pretty adrenaline filled stuff. Like going to the gym centers me a lot, right? Because maybe it's because you're using more breath there. But I think remembering to breathe is huge. But I guess I do kind of do that. Like when I pull into the driveway, I don't just barrel out of the car. I take a few minutes, not a few minutes, maybe like 30 seconds to kind of ground myself, take a couple deep breaths, and then I go in. So I go in, I walk through that threshold. My goal is to walk through as the best version of myself. So going to breakfast with you the other day, that was like just the only intention was to be my best version of myself. And man, it really hit home. And I don't know if we can share this because it was kind of personal. Like Sonny was with us, right? Your nephew, such a little stud, like such a little like skater, but such a good kid. Like, but he had a watch and he kept asking, what time is it? What time is it? And you were like, the time is now. Like now is the time. Like, don't worry about what time it was or what time it's going to be or what time the time is now. You know? And I was like, that's so key. I'm going to steal that out of your book.
It's good.
Because I think kids are always like, what time is it? Where are we going? You know, what are we doing? Like, it's always what's next. Right. And I think really this year, I think being present in the moment, whether it's in the podcast or whatever, it's like, that's why I don't script anything. I don't want to be thinking about like, what's the next question? Where am I trying to go with this conversation? Even though I'll think about it a little bit coming into here, right? Because you can't just come into it blind. But like kind of honestly just going with the moment and being present and really listening to whoever's in that seat. What are some other things that you do to get yourself centered or grounded? Because I know like that's a huge part of your practice, what you teach. For somebody that's like me, that's on the move all the time, other than just the breath work, like I have some boxes that I check before I come in here and record. I have to work out. I have to be outside. I have to have sunlight. I have to I check all these boxes so I can walk in here the best version of myself.
Yeah. Before we move forward, I just want to say that there's a difference between masculine and feminine and male and female. And I know that probably a lot of your listeners are men, if I had to guess.
A ton of them.
Which
That's
is
why
amazing.
the female episodes do so well.
No, I was kidding. And when I started first hearing about this masculine and feminine, I immediately went male and female, right? Because there's just this that's what we've been trained. Like masculine is male, feminine is female. We all have both. We all have a side of masculine. We all have a side of feminine, and we need both. Just like the earth to the sky, like there's this cycle of both that's needed, the light and the dark, you could call it. So I think as we invite in more feminine to the masculine, because we've been in a very masculine driven world. The last few decades have been build, technology, logic, rules, systems, which we needed. Probably the last 100 years, I would say, have been very masculine. And now we're inviting in this a little bit more slow down, a little bit more soft, a lot more caretaking for ourselves. This self-care word is such a buzz, and for a reason, right? Like if we continuously put everything else first, our jobs, our families, the systems as they may be, we become empty. So self-care is very feminine. What you're talking about, getting out into nature, it's like this feminine add to our life, this nurturing to our lives. It's so important. So I just want to put that out there so that it's not an immediate shut off of like, oh my God, the feminine. Don't get woo on me. And I'm like, why is the woo so wrong? You know what I mean? Like, why is breath work, like you taking 3 deep breaths makes you feel feminine, which is just so interesting. And if you want to fucking Wim Hof it, like take a big blowout, take a big scream, take a big roar, like bring that into it because that's needed too. And I don't want men to go too feminine. We need the masculine. And also I think feminine, the females get to bring more masculine and feminine. Like we all need this intermix. And so starting my yoga studio called Harmony is that. Okay. Is harmonizing, right? Is like finding that center line as much as possible. We're going to bob and weave, and even the yin yang symbol, right, is dark and light. And there's that little bit of dark in the light and the little bit of light in the dark because you need both. And so I feel like we've been pretty out of balance with the grind, with the rise and grind, with the 9 to 5, with the prove yourself, with the build bigger, faster, more expansive, which can still be brought in. But how do we take that slow down to nourish ourselves so that we're more fulfilled, more happy, more healthy humans? Because that is going to create an energy and a currency and a value that's even higher than the dollar.
Right.
And so getting that balance in there. So I just wanted to say that because I feel
true.
like it invites this
even
conversation.
Genetically, we did, even from like a tribal people and what we know and what we've studied and what's been brought to light in recent years with that is to only have to worry about food and survival and not, I guess you had to worry about other humans, but right, for the most part, we had our own little tribes or communities. So it was like, are you a good member of that tribe or community, right? It was important. So your peers kind of keeping you in line. What do you contribute, right? Because you had to contribute if you're living in this tribe. But then also, what amount of time you probably had just to reflect, enjoy yourself, enjoy your community because you didn't have a ton of distractions, right? And those primitive skills. But I think you're right. In the last 100 years, we live in like these comfort bubbles almost of like homes and cars and airplanes and freedom and just like no real threats, right?
But we've gotten to a point where the email is a threat.
Sure.
It feels like that in our body, which is another layer to this calming of getting out of fight or flight. I mean, they say one of the biggest diseases of our time is stress. 100% contributing to your nervous system being taxed 100% of the time. Most people haven't integrated this slow down. They think sleep is that, and it can be that, and it is a big factor of that. Is one of my top 5 non-negotiables is my sleep is super priority to me.
Yeah.
Because I know that that's where my battery recharges. Like I know. And so that is a way that we refresh. But if you're going to bed stressed, if you're going to bed scrolling right before, if you're going to bed and you've pumped yourself with some alcohol to try and get yourself to sleep better, we all know that's not fully giving you the ability to completely reset, to completely refill that battery. And in yoga, I always say you wouldn't try and run your full day on a 10% battery. So why are we doing that to our bodies? You know, and so the threat has just changed. The threat before was a bear attacking the village or what, you know, lion or wherever you were. And the threat was famine or a bad crop year. And we've just evolved. I want to say evolved. Sometimes I feel like it's devolved, but I know that we are evolving.
I feel that way sometimes
and
too.
And our threats are just different. What we get to worry about is just different. And I think we've gone pretty far down this age of technology, this age of over-information, where we're no longer reconnecting to our wisdom within. And when you were in that tribal mode, that's most of what you had. You weren't able to go Google it.
Yeah, you weren't looking at
it was
all
just
the
there.
world's problems.
And that too.
You were just looking at your community's
So
problems,
that's another
right?
part of the fight or flight.
Sure.
We are being so inundated with things, layers, I call it OPPs, other people's problems.
Right?
You know, like, whoa. And I am such an empath. I'm such an energetic person. I always have been. And I didn't know how to deal with it up until recently, where I was like, why is this always so intense? Why do I feel like I need to meddle in everybody else's stuff? Because I wanted it fixed. I wanted to help people. I wanted to, you know, let me help you. Let me show you. I see all your things. And yet it's not mine.
Right.
So that has been a huge part of my nervous system reset. Is one of my practices is like, I now recognize, and it's taken a lot of practice to go, whoa, that's not mine. Especially with my family, because I love them so much and I want to help them and I want to see them be their best selves. And yet that's a part of their contract. Like, we are all here to learn something very specific in this lifetime. And if I try and coddle and help and save and fix and do all of it for them, they're not truly learning that lesson. And that's painful for both of us, because I'm probably going to watch that person go to a level that's very painful for all of us. And yet we get to save ourselves. No one is coming to save us. Especially our government, especially our doctors, especially whoever you look up to in the outside world. Like, it is within, and we get to keep going back within to re-save ourselves, because at the end of the day, you could help me, you could tell me all the advice, but until I actually feel it and learn it and like live it for myself, it's not going to be what's the thing is like, you can lead the horse to the water.
Absolutely.
Right? But like, you cannot teach a horse to drink. You could say it, you could show them, you could practice it, you could give them all the words and all the tools. But if a horse doesn't have that ability to just lean down and drink, they have to do it for themselves. Or what's the other one is that I love is like, teach a person to fish and they'll fish forever, or fish for them to feed them and they'll be debilitated essentially. And maybe that's where we're at in a lot of the conveniences, especially of our country. Right? Like, we talked about this the other day, like this deep connection that you're establishing with your food, which I've learned to establish with my food in the last few years, of going like, where did this come from? How many people were involved in this? Can I like take a moment to feel that and energetically connect to it so that it's going to nourish me a lot more. I'm going to appreciate it a lot more. It's going to send out that ripple of gratitude a lot more. And, this summer I had a really scary situation where I had this weird mole on my arm and somebody in Costa Rica pointed it out. And I was like, damn, yeah, you're right. That does look weird. This little weird thing on my arm. And he happened to have a doctor in Costa Rica. And I just said yes. I was like, yeah, I'll go to your doctor down here. I don't have anybody established. I'm not a big doctor person. So went there, got it removed, and it was deep. It was deep invasive melanoma. Like that overnight, my life changed. And all of a sudden I'm in this category and in this requirement of trusting outside people that I didn't know, hoping they have my best interest in mind. And we all know with the big C word where that can go and the cost that can come with that and the mental, emotional anguish that comes with that. And at the end of the day, all of these practices that I've been really utilizing for the last 5, it's been about 6 years since I started the journey, but the last 5 for sure were my baseline. That was my foundation of like, no one is coming to save me. Only I get to make these decisions. Can the doctor help me by like removing it further and having these conversations? Absolutely. And can I trust that? But if my nervous system is taxed, if I'm super stressed out, if I'm continuing to feed myself shit food or drink my way through this or try and seek other people's approval and opinion and help, I never really get to fully align with the situation and know that I get to save myself emotionally, especially to reground through a very, very scary, very intense situation that a lot of people are dealing with. I mean, that word is rampant. Everybody has been affected by it by at least someone. There's like 1 degree of separation with the whole thing. And that was such an incredible moment of going like, wow, these practices work because I was able to trust the divine unfolding of the whole thing, saying yes in Costa Rica, finding doctors that aligned with me here in Colorado, like just that step, taking just one step after another instead of like working my whole way up into this emotional, I'm dying,
Yeah, and I think that seems to be a constant. I mean, to let you know how prevalent it is, in the last 5 years, I guess the podcast is going on 6 years now. Out of all the guests that we've had in, the roster's maybe like 200 episodes, probably because we have a lot of returning guests. It's maybe like 80, 100 people. Firsthand guests that we've had on that have had cancer that I can think of, and they're in my thoughts like every day. Like honestly, since I've started prayer, like I include those people, like people that I care about in that, just to send some positive energy and then also keeping them in my forethought. I mean, that's what's kept you in my forethoughts with everything that you've been through the last year. But I would say, I mean, just thinking offhand, and I'm sure I'm missing a few, it's at least 8 that have dealt with cancer. Maybe they had it before, or maybe since the time that they've been in, like yourself, have then developed it in some form or fashion. I mean, there's so many different variations of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild. I think it's 1 in 3 people or something like that will experience cancer in their lifetime. So,
yeah,
firsthand.
Yeah.
And I have multiple family members that have.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question? You said the C word. Is there a reason for the C word, or is it like?
I just don't want it to define me. I don't want to, and that's a big part of those practices of trusting and knowing that like the thoughts that I feed to myself, and I'm not afraid to say it, right? It's like, but if I keep going like, I have this, I have this, I have this, I'm telling my body I have it.
Well, it's such a negative word,
I'm being
too.
defined by it, right? Like, I don't want to be defined by that. It doesn't make me who I am. Is it a part of my challenge and what I'm working through?
Right.
Sure. But if I sit here and like continually speak it, kind of like why AA never really resonated with me is you sit down, and I've heard this has changed what I saw and heard from the beginning is like, hi, I'm Nikki, I'm an alcoholic. Right? And you sit there and claim that. And your words are powerful. It's called spelling for a reason. Spell. This might be woo-woo on your end. But like it's witchy, right? Like
That's why you're here.
You're casting spells through your spelling, through your words. And that's been a big part of my practice in the last 5 years is like, what are the words that are coming out of my mouth? One thing I've shifted a lot is like, I have to go do things to like, I get to do this. I get to be busy.
Yes.
I get to have this experience. And that's how I shifted this whole cancer journey was like, I'm not going to sit here and be defined by like, I'm sick. This is horrible. It's going to be so wrong and bad. Okay, yes, I'm going to hit this head on. I'm going to enlist the best doctors that I can. And I'm going to ramp up my practices. Red light therapy every day. Meditation every single day. Even 5 minutes. And I notice it's so cool that we're talking about this at the end of my trip. So I've been with my family for a week and it's just a lot busier here than it is in my everyday life. I have a lot more space because it's me and my pup. And yes, I have quieter, businesses right? And I have things on my everyday get to do list. But here it's like wake up and go. But I have mindfully gotten up quite a bit earlier, walked the dogs, and sat in 5 to 10 minutes of meditation. Even when I was down at my sister's house in Denver, like got up with just enough time to like sit. World of a difference. I went to, this is hilarious, on Thanksgiving morning, we were scrambling to like, my sister and I were trying to take over doing Thanksgiving dinner, which by the way, thank your moms because holy shit, if your mom is still cooking your dinner for you for Thanksgiving, like it is a task. There is so many layers to it. So anyway, we're like up early Thanksgiving morning and I was like, okay, I'll just run to the grocery store really quick. And I was like, this is going to be crazy. I had meditated and this is in my experience and my perspective, it could have gone either way, right? Like Denver, grocery store, Thanksgiving morning, it could have gone either way easily. And it was like walking into Whoville. Good morning. How are you? Holding doors, sharing carts, the guy helping you check out. And I know, and I get to believe this because it's my experience. I know that by me shifting my energy first thing in the morning, 10 minutes of just sitting and grounding and realigning, I know that that's the energy that I'm then giving off. And it's gonna ripple back. So if you wake up and you're angry and you're on the grind and you're upset and you're getting in traffic and you're honking and you're not letting anyone else in, and then you get to your office and you spill your coffee and your coworker's still a dick, it's like all the things. What if your practice is realigning? So you're just starting that way aligned, and not to say that it's like fucking rainbows and sunshine every day because of that. I subscribe
to the same thing.
But it changes the energy. It changes the energetic vibration, period. And if not, what's the worst case scenario? It's still a little off. But I know from my experience, and that morning was one of the first times that I got to utilize this practice in Denver. Because I am in a little bit of a bubble up in Steamboat, right? I'm like dancing around and we're snowing and it's transient and it's a vacation place and like that can sometimes be annoying. But for the most part, like we're really, really blessed.
Even here in Evergreen.
And I work really hard to afford to live in a place like that. I've worked really hard for many years to afford to be in that place. And thank goodness. And so, it's just this full circle of like, having this cancer experience and then seeing myself still stick to these everyday practices and recognize that that is the medicine. To de-stress my body is going to give me a way better chance of getting through this than stressing myself out, worrying about what if 10 steps ahead. And I think
that is true recovery too. I think that's why sleep is so important. Like no matter what you're trying to do physically, like athletes and all that sort of stuff, it's not really in the performance times, although that's super important. A lot of it is the recovery time, right?
Yeah.
And how much have you recovered and how rejuvenated is your body so you can then turn around and do it again the next day? How healthy are you? Do you have an injury? Do you not? Like, I think it's so spot on. I mean, there's a reason why I don't drink. I go to bed at like an old man at a certain time at night so I can get up at 5 o'clock and have those few hours in the morning because that's what makes me my best version of myself when I do walk through that threshold.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel as good when I don't check those boxes.
Yeah. I always
Because then
say your
I feel
morning
like I'm
starts
missing something, right?
Yeah.
And then it's almost like not that I ever feel resentful towards my kids, but I might be resentful towards my day because I didn't get done what I wanted to, or what was important to me, or what makes me feel good.
Yeah. I always
as selfish as that sounds, it's important, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't help others unless you're like in a good mindset, like we just talked about, like energy. So I totally get that.
Yeah. I always say your morning starts the night before.
Yes.
And do something your future self will thank you for.
Going to bed with intention, waking up with intention.
And there's nights, right? Like you and I talked about that. There's nights that it's going to be a late night, or you have a different, but if your routine, what's it, like the 80-20 rule kind of thing?
Yeah.
I even think it's probably closer to 90-10, but to each their own. And know that, like, okay, yeah, like I'm sacrificing the best rest because I'm going to go do this social thing, or I know that. But if it's with intention, like we talked about the other morning, which I loved, and hearing you say that, like as soon as I said intention, your face just lit up, like, dude, I'm doing that.
It's so crazy because we go like this, right? Like I might see you once or twice a year, and it's like, But it's funny, I feel like we've both been on this journey, and I think the podcast has helped me that. Like having so many people sit across from me and share their personal experiences, bad, good. There's so many life lessons here. And I think that I get that out of listening to podcasts too, like listening to other podcasts, like, you know, especially the ones that go deep, you know, or it's a deep conversation, or it's a hard conversation to hear. It's a great way to navigate when maybe that conversation comes up, or to have something to fall back on, to listen to, or these own conversations. Like I've gone back, and I hate listening to myself, but some of the conversations I've needed like reminders of, like, wait a minute, where it's a great stamp in history for me to gain to, not through growth through listeners or audience, but like personal growth and faith and all kinds of different stuff. Like my perspective has been changed so much in this room, at this table, or the prior table, for the better. And it's cool to be able, that it's archivable, and I can go back and be like, God, I remember like this person changed my idea on faith because of a story that they told me. Well, I can go back and listen to that. It's pretty fucking cool. And I would urge people, like, I save podcast episodes, whether they're, I mean, obviously I have all of mine, but like if it's something really important that I've listened to, and it can even be through like a Instagram short, like you would think I'm a psycho if you open my personal Instagram, because I save, sometimes it's Bible verses, sometimes it's motivational stuff. Like I have little folders. One is motivation, one is God, you know, the other one is like workout stuff or health stuff. And it's just, it's stuff that I don't want to forget, or sometimes I need a reminder. And those times when you need a reset, it's a great way for you to reset and figure out what your intention is. But yeah, I'm sorry to bring it back to you. You make me babble so much. Like I just go down these rabbit holes, which I fucking love. That's what this is about, right? Like I think that these conversations, that's the biggest thing, is like it's made me explore myself and be conscious to be in the conversation, and there's no distractions, right?
And conscious conversation is so valuable. And I just want to say, this is like an external journal for you.
Yes.
And journaling is such an incredible practice. Like I think journaling has so many connotations, but essentially if you're just like, this is what I felt today, this is what I went through, oh, this was kind of funny, this was hard, this is whatever. And then you can flip back to that page in however many years, but you're doing that out loud. So this is like your out loud journal, which is pretty phenomenal. And instead of going back and judging yourself, just being like, wow, that was just a whole different version of me. That was only 5 years ago. Imagine 10, 15, or us as kids, you know? It's just like, it's really cool that you're doing this timestamp of that. And the second piece of that is, whether you think so or not, this is a very feminine practice for you to be opening a door to people to being vulnerable.
Right.
And the fact that you're getting so many people to sit here and open up with you says a lot about you and this journey. And you're unknowingly and knowingly helping so many people pause and reflect and speak their truth. And I think that's why podcasting is getting more popular, is because it is not all, but a lot of podcasts is this like vulnerable moment of personal conversation shared with the world of like, hey, this is what I'm growing through. And man, it's been really hard. And this is what I've learned. Like, where else do you really get that? Even with our own family, there's still this layer of like, I've known you my whole life. And so, yeah, whatever. But when it's somebody that's, I don't know, especially if somebody you've never met.
And I think coming in here, I think the two biggest things with that, just to add to it, is intention. People intentionally come in here to tell their story and portray themselves in the best light that they can, right? And I'm trying to do that as the host. But I think it really comes down to like honesty and intention are the two things, right? Intentionally having a conversation and then honesty. And you can do that without microphones or a camera or any of that.
Yeah.
And I think that the biggest thing with the podcast is it's made me do that. Even like if I run into a fan that maybe recognizes me and it's very seldom that I get recognized. But like when I do, I'll take the time to like, man, they've listened to me for hours. I want to know about them. So I just treat them like they're sitting in the seat. What are you into? Where are you from? Blah, blah. Like I want to learn about them. Like I genuinely want to learn about people if I have the time or if they have the time. But I guess that's what I was trying to explain earlier, and it's coming back to me for full circle and thinking out loud. When I went to breakfast with you, it wasn't like intention to like see Nikki. It was just like, I'm bringing that intention where I'm just going to care about this person, not worry about, I don't know how to explain that. Like,
there's no like agenda.
There never would be. I don't think there was in the past, but I think it's just intentionally like caring and listening to what this person has to say and genuinely listening, not thinking about the next thing that I'm going to say or the next thing that I'm going to do or the next, because I think we get caught up in that. I definitely did at the beginning of this. Like it has made me a better person when I'm hanging out with my friends because I'll shut up and I'm not thinking about the next thing to tell them that I did last week or we did this or we did that. You know what I mean? It's like if you just naturally let it come and you take the time and don't rush a conversation. That's why these podcasts are 3 hours long because, and sometimes they feel too short. Like if you rush it, it kind of ruins it, honestly, in a way.
Yeah.
That's the intention that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I guess,
I love it. And I think that this layered of vulnerability, and I've been bringing this a lot more into my yoga studio to say, yes, we can like do everything possible to bring our best self forward and to have the best conversation. But to me, hearing about someone else's struggle too is so powerful. And that to me is like the darker side, right? Like we can live in the love and the light. And that's what a lot of the Western yoga world is. It's like, it's okay. Just love and light your way through it. And it's like, no, tell me the heavy shit you've been through. Like that's where you're going to hook me in is going like, let's talk about resilience. Let's talk about what you're actually going through. Because I think you and I talked about this the other day too, how social media is a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Of like, here's all my best self. And then when you're in a darker space, I know for me, I'll speak for myself. When I'm in a darker space and I go on there, I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing everything wrong. Who am I? Like it makes me question myself because everyone seems so happy and put together on there. And so there is this balance for me where, yes, I want to have this light and jovial and great conversation. And what's hard? Like, what are you working through? Because I think if you bring it to light,
stuff, right? Like, just be honest.
Yeah.
Like, whether you're feeling shitty or not.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think you could bring that into your home too with your kids. Like, not unloading everything you're going through, but like, man, I listened to this story today that was quite heavy, and it's kind of still on my heart. And just like sharing that, because seeing my dad go through his work and where he's at now, he's probably 5 years alcohol free.
Really?
Yeah.
I love your dad, by the way,
love my
too.
dad.
He's a stud.
He's a stud. And I'm about 6 years on that journey too. And it's brought us so close because we have brought to light the hard stuff. And it's helped my mom, right? Because now she has a version of my dad that's a lot more stable. It's helped our holidays. I mean, I was just talking to my dad this morning. Our holiday this year, I didn't even come home last year because things were really rocky and really hard. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not in that place. And I chose consciously for the first time in my life to not come home for a holiday, which was huge. And this year it was so, not like smooth and perfect, but there was just this level of, grounded, like relaxed, fun. Like there was a lot of joy in our holiday this year. Still some turbulence, some funny stuff that you're like, oh my God, that's still happening. But just to be able to be honest and work through some of those bigger things and have some of those bigger conversations has changed our life as a family and me as a person. And I know that I'm able to sit there and have that with my members at my yoga studio, my clients as a coach, my people as my insurance business. Like the vulnerability is bleeding over into all these other areas. And people are like, whoa, no one's asked me that. No one's like paused enough to go like, what, that must have been really hard. Like, tell me more. Instead of just like, oh, you're fine, you'll be better. And I guess that goes full circle to me trying to like fix everyone. Like I'm no longer trying to fix. I'm just like, wow, tell me more.
Just listen, right?
Huge.
And I think collectively, like I noticed that when you get, my family's so big, there's so many kids and we're all grateful to see each other, but there's like this stress level of just like, I don't want to make this person mad, or I don't want to like do this, or I don't want to
say the wrong thing,
say this, or this is a secret between me and this family member. And this is a secret between, you know what I mean? Like I do families have that dynamic, right?
Yeah.
I have different relationship with my brother than I do with some of my sisters or my mom, right? Like it's more open. We can share more. We're more vulnerable to each other, right? But I think so many people, like, this is crazy. You saying it, coming back to the feminine side of things, or we are coming back as a society. I think it's so true because I've had a banner year. Like, I don't know if anybody else, but like I've had some crazy success. I've also had like some of the hardest times I've ever experienced in my life, like losing family members that were cornerstones in the family, the school shooting that happened here. And then you start looking at the world's other problems, like the Charlie Kirk thing and like all this, like just like collectively kind of built up that I feel like my family went into, and I'm just speaking for myself, they've all experienced a ton of like crazy stuff, whether it's divorce or going through a divorce and relationship changes, or the loss of another family member or a close friend, or like there's been a lot.
Yeah.
Like 2025 was wild, right?
Chills.
Yeah. That I think that all of them honestly went in with like gratitude and intention just to be present and be with your family and not bring up any shit. And it's like taking some negative people out of that situation that I noticed that were family members before and maybe they're not now has made it almost like better. Like, it's wild. So I think, I mean, I'm on this like journey and I know I'm like repetitively saying it, but like that intention thing I think is huge. And it's something that I'm applying in my life is just everything with intention, for the better. You know, it's not intention for me to gain something or greed or anything like that. Like I don't want it to come off the wrong way. Like it's just intention of just being a good person and having, what is this moment going to be like? Whether I walk, like you said, walking into the grocery store, I can walk in it with like, fuck this place. I can't believe all these people are here. Like this is stupid. I can't believe this costs this much. Yeah, I can't believe we didn't get this yesterday. I can't believe I forgot that. We're never going to get there in time. Like, you go into all those things. That's a big one, or you can go into it with like, I'm just going to roll in here.
The time
I'm
is
gonna get
now.
this. I'm going to be nice to people.
I call the intention your inner flashlight.
Okay.
And it kind of just shines a light on like where you want to go.
That's really good.
You know, just
especially
like,
in the
boom.
dark.
Even if it's one word, like, I just want to feel hopeful today.
Yeah.
Boom.
Your intention doesn't have to be this hard, like hard line in the sand or this really like,
no.
My intention is honestly to have a good time, right?
Hell yeah.
No matter whether I'm working in here at the podcast, you know, who wants to have a negative experience? Like just go into it with that, just have a good time. And no matter what you're doing, even if it's something that's going to suck, like really the people that are around you, whether it's work or not, if you can make them have a good time, you're all going to experience a good time through that shitty time, I guess, right?
And that can be brought into anything.
Yeah.
And it's certainly a practice, constant. That's why that like coming back to like, whoa, I just got really upset, or I just like got so out of my body that I need to just come back and go, hold on. It's a reset. It's a check-in, a reset, and it can happen 100 times a day.
You need that reset to go into something with intention. Like you can't just walk through the threshold.
Yeah.
Like you need to take that 30 seconds that I do in the driveway is like, okay, how am I walking through this door?
Totally.
Like to check yourself. Because if you just like run to the door and you're like, oh, I'm missing out. Like that extra minute or 2 minutes to get yourself right, or that waking up at 5 a.m. so you can go do your stretches, get coffee, then drop your kid off at school, then go to the gym.
Yeah.
And
there's
then
so many factors.
Right.
So many factors. And even with this practice, I had a moment the other day where what was I going into? I was just telling my dad this story, but I was basically like, don't say that going into this. This isn't the right time. Like I was having this conversation. The intention is to just like listen and to go into it. And then I got in there and I still did it. I still did what I knew. And I was just like, and it made the situation so much more uncomfortable. I'm like, what the, like I knew, I was conscious about it, but my dad was like, way to catch yourself, you know, like a few years ago, you probably just would have like steamrolled through it and then been mad that it didn't go your way. But at least you have this reflection moment to go like, I knew what I could have done. And now, you know, it's like still that practice. And I think life is a practice. Like we want to get there. Like, where is there? And sometimes the experience of getting there is the joy, the planning, the fun, you know, the research.
Yeah, you got to enjoy the journey, right?
Yeah. Like the whole thing. I don't know. It's just really interesting.
I think also like to caveat on that a little bit, like we get so caught up in like fixing situations and fixing problems, and you explained it with fixing other people. It's like you honestly, like an approach that I've taken recently is like you can't fix a situation. Like you cannot fix what happened at Evergreen High School. Nobody can fix that right now. It happened. You can make things better. You can make things worse. Unfortunately, like I had to come to the realization, and to bring it back to honesty and intention, I can honestly tell my kids, I can't guarantee that you're going to be safe at school. Yeah. The likelihood of this happening is the chances are low, but it did happen. Like I can't guarantee you're safe. Like I don't care how many police officers or how many dogs that we have that check for guns on the way in or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. Like you can have the utmost security, and obviously, yes, it's going to make you safer, but it doesn't make you 100% safe, right?
Well, in the world.
Yeah.
You know, that's one container. And I think that that's what's going to be a part of this. And I don't want this to sound woo. I don't believe in woke by any means, but I do believe that we are awakening and we're getting more conscious. And especially with our own energetic ability to, like you're saying, set an intention and shift that. The more intentional we live as adults, that's going to roll off into the kids.
That's not woke.
Okay. Well, I bet some people kind of like, oh, I don't know. Like it could get confused in my opinion.
We went like we were talking like the
meter.
metronome the other day. Like we went to the extreme. Like we're going to fix this right now. And it was just like,
Which did we need to go there to kind of reel it back?
And look what happened, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So I think it's that whole just like.
But I think
humanity, we're going to fix the problem.
Right. But I think being a conscious individual, especially as kids, like asking more questions, just being aware of surroundings. Like, hey, Billy's been sad for a long time. Like, can we have a conversation with him? Like, is that the consciousness of noticing? And I always say that this awakening starts with awareness. Like, if you're not aware of how you feel, if you're not aware of the words that are coming out of your mouth, if you're not aware of your actions, you're living unconsciously. So this awakening, this consciousness, bringing it to the forefront of our brain instead of just like the habitual autopilot. There's something crazy Dr. Joe Dispenza says, like 80,000 thoughts a day, and something between like 60 and 80% are the same.
I probably have about 40,000.
Okay, so you're 40,000. And lucky for you, like I wish I thought less, to be honest. I wish my mind was more still. And that's the practice of my stillness, of my like grounding practices.
That's crazy. 80,000 thoughts.
I mean, and who knows?
24 hours.
And like, where do they come from?
Yeah.
Where's those thoughts coming from? And if I can think about what I'm thinking about, where's that? And that starts to get like super deep into consciousness and quantum theory and like different layers of timelines. Like a whole nother thing that blew my mind at the beginning of this is like, time's not linear. You can exist in multiple timelines. What? And that's like scientifically proven. They're seeing quantum physics in timelines.
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Is real.
Let's go down this rabbit hole. This
well,
is
I don't know a ton
awesome.
about it, so I don't want to go. But like what I've learned
just
is you can like have, so there's quantum layers of time. And so you could be living, so they say, and this is like science backed, is that you could be living a different timeline in a totally different lifetime.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest.
That's
like, I don't
wild.
know. But just even the theory of that and to like awaken to that you could be, your decision now could be affecting different timelines.
Oh,
and like,
1,000%.
and you could reprogram timelines from before because it's all technically energy. Like we're just a mirror, right? Like if you zoom into your cells, supposedly our cells are like 99% space.
Right.
So it's like this physical thing that we think we're touching and seeing is all just a reflection. It's all just this like energetic.
Yeah, and the decisions that you make right now in this moment impact the future.
Yeah.
I mean, they are obviously on the podcast because it's archivable. But really, I mean, more importantly with your kids or something like that, like.
Well, and the thing
I
that
wish
got
I
me
could
really
remember
interested
this.
in it was like you can by what you're doing now, you can actually shift the energetic field and shift basically what we've brought into this lifetime from 7 generations before us. And we carry 7 generations before us now. And then we can affect up to 7 generations ahead. So it's like we think of it as like just this exact timeline, like we're living this like, I mean, Monday through Friday is work. How? Why? You know, like that's all like us just trying to be in control and in control
Or
of
somebody
time.
else being in control.
Or somebody else being in control. But that was all created, right? Like that was created at some point, even a few hundred years ago, like all the way back to Sunny, which is so interesting because he's not like one thing that I'm so proud of my brother and the kid's mom for doing is like they are not tablet screen kids. And you can see it. Like they want to be outside. They were playing this Uno game in my car the other day on our drive, like where a lot of kids like get in the car right to screens or get to lunch or dinner right on the screen. And
it's
so
the easiest babysitter. Just
they were
to
like
hand your kid
playing an Uno game and laughing their asses off and just like having so much fun. Like last night we went on this walk, even though it was cold, we bundled up and they were playing ball or, you know, they're helping with the Christmas decorations. Like they're just very involved in what we're doing. It's not like adults are doing this and kids are doing this. Like we're all in it. And we've spoken to them like not adults, but like a little human the whole way instead of like babying it down or pushing them aside into this like, oh, you're a little child and you won't understand because again, like they understand. And I believe because this quantum physics thing that's coming into my like sphere more and more is seeing what kids are born into now. Like the level of consciousness that they have now is way different than our parents. Way different. Like they're just a lot more open. And I believe that that's like the leveling of timelines and like where we're at and what we're learning as a human
They're
in the
exposed
human
to so much more.
experience. But even as a baby, like what, like just seeing them, I don't know, like there's just something there where it's like, what? Yeah. And that could get like super esoteric, but I think, and too, because when I go into like a deeper state of stillness and meditation, like I feel like I check into such different quantum layers. Like it just gets really big and our eyes almost box us into this is it. Like I'm labeling you as a man in black and what you're, like trying to guess your age. But like if I close my eyes, like there's just the possibilities are endless.
Sure.
And so that can add to this like timeline travel, I guess is what I'm saying. Like there's something bigger and greater. And we can call it God. You can call it whatever you want, universe, spirit,
Yeah.
the existential, all of it. And I think we've just like narrowed ourselves into like linear time, days. This is what we're supposed to do, even like in our lifetimes, like kids go to school, they go to college, they are supposed to like find your perfect career and then get married and have like, I just feel like I am here to break those timelines and those like systematic requirements. Like I think that
like you have to check all these boxes.
And it's just time to like break through that and not be so stuck in this like, well, I didn't do it right because I didn't do this when everyone else did. Or at the timeline that it felt like it meant to be. Or I didn't gain the success
that somebody did in the amount of time that they did,
right.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Which, like, if you think about that in your 20s, you're supposed to start your freaking career then and know what you're meant to do at 22, right out of college.
Yeah.
Like, 20s are meant for fluffing around and figuring shit out. 30s, okay, like, start to get the grind. Like, I think the peak, not even the peak, but just like the part of us that's really awakening into our fullest best self is like 40s and 50s. Like my 40s have been really, really challenging and also so incredible because like I know who I am more, not completely, but like I'm just like, oh, this is the essence of who I am. Mm-hmm. Taking away the labels, taking away the should have, could have, would haves. Just like, can I just live fully even when it's painful?
I think who am I in this pain? That the most successful entrepreneurs are the ones that start after 40 and 45 specifically to like 65.
I've heard that.
Is when you're like the most, because you have the most life experience. Yeah. You have the most, and I'm not saying that just because I'm turning 46 in March, right? Like
I am in it.
But
and
it's
you are
true.
though.
Like,
you
like
are though.
The company that I'm starting now and the line of business that I'm in now and the level of business, that I'm in, and also with the podcast, like without all that experience, I would have nothing. Like I wouldn't
you started then though.
I wouldn't bring my best version of myself of 27 years in a career, which is kind of unheard of for most people. Like I'm so lucky what I fell into and all the experience that I had, good or bad or failure or whatever. Like I could not offer the same level of professionalism in some of the world's largest stages without that. Like there's no fucking way. Like you can't I couldn't teach that to somebody.
No, experience is king.
Yeah.
And I believe that was a big part of my journey. I don't know what your college experience was, but I just never felt the same.
It was a tour bus.
I think I did like 2 semesters and I was
drugs.
like, what am I doing? But it was that experience, right? Like who do you know? Who are you meeting? What are you like?
Yes.
How are you expanding yourself? And I'm not saying college is wrong or bad, but it is a business. So keep that at the forefront. If you have something like very tailored that this is what it is and like education's incredible, knowledge is
that's
power.
Something that we're waking up to, like professional medical care is a business, prison, law enforcement. Like you go down the list.
All of it.
All of it is making money in some form or fashion. It's security. Well, I mean, it's crazy, right?
Which is going full circle to like taking your power back and no one else is outside of you is going to save you. In all of that, right?
Yeah,
like you get to be the forefront of that. Like going to college and getting your degree isn't going to save you into getting this perfect 6-figure career. You know what I mean? Like you still get to put in the effort. You still get to expand yourself. And I think that like thinking outside of the box, like you've done from the beginning, it wasn't in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you went through times where you're like, should I have done it this way? Or, you know, like.
There's so much, I mean, I don't regret anything, but like, I think if you're a young person and you're listening to this podcast, be smart with your money, like experience life, but you don't need to take multiple helicopter rides around the Cristo. Like one is enough,
you
right?
Do. No, I disagree 100%.
I was like, let's do that again.
Go
like
on the
such
adventure.
a rock and roll moment,
yeah.
right? Like, but thousands and thousands.
What would you have done with that money now? That money would be
my
gone.
Kids would,
that money would be
my
somewhere
kids
else.
would have a little bit. They would be. I do regret some of the decisions I made blowing money on hard drugs. On
okay,
I never spent money on drugs.
Oh,
which is crazy. It was like a self rule. It was like they were either there or they weren't. Hard drugs.
You're either
hard
gifting
drugs,
it
like,
to me or I'm not doing it.
The amount of money that I've spent on supplements is way greater. Like whatever this magic pill is, or whatever this protein powder is that's supposed to give me the best gains, or this testosterone builder, or whatever, right? Like whatever you're trying to fix. America loves a fucking pill and a way to fix it, right? And I do too. Like I still take stuff on a regular basis. I have products that are sponsors of the pot. I'm drinking one right now, right? Like
go
I love these. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that if you're a young person listening to this, like I think that intention thing is important. Like intention for your future. Like I don't, as much as I want to go out and eat a fine steak dinner every night, that's not the best thing, because at some point my family's not going to have enough, be able to afford to eat, right? If I'm out blowing money. Like I guess those sort of like conscious decisions.
I just think money has had such a power over us for so
worst.
long. So
it's
like
the fucking worst.
The experience of you going on a helicopter is amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe
we're a slave to money, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like if you want to cut it right down to it with the comfortability, and I guess that's to take it back to that tribal thing. I think that was the last generation of people, if you were living in a fully like 100% foraging, harvesting, hunting community, that was the last time that we were not slaves to some sort of currency or lifestyle. Or
don't you think there was probably a hierarchy though? You know, there was
100%.
the man that like had the most kills and had the most skins that he was selling. Like there was
100%.
Still that. So there's just like, it's just a shift
and
from
warriors
the dollar
got the hottest wives, and like, you know, like
did they?
No, it's the truth. Yeah. They had the most, right? They were the most popular in the tribe, right? They were the most looked up to. Like, I think that that's a natural thing that happens in nature. Like look at elk. Like the biggest, baddest, meanest bulls get the most amount of cows, right? They get the most amount of females in their harem. And it's like they get to, what it really is their genes get to go on. So like, it's survival of the fittest, honestly.
Totally.
Like
I get that.
So I think that's nature's kind of natural selection. It happens in fish. It happens in the ocean. Like a great white shark can smoke a tuna, you know what I mean? Like, or a seal or whatever. I mean, there's still this like balance to it all. I don't think that will ever be taken out of I don't think competition will ever be taken out of it. But slavery is another big part of that. Like a shark is not or a tuna isn't a slave to a shark. Like there's not one tuna going out and finding other tuna for one big shark, so he doesn't have to move around or make his life easier. He still has to hunt. He still has to provide his own food and make his own survival, if you want to take it back to that nature side. But I think like the slavery of our own possessions, I think that's where it really came in. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's consumerism and capitalism, unfortunately.
And comfortability. Like if you want heat, you can live a lot cheaper if you don't have heat. You know what I mean? If you don't have electricity, if you don't have the electrician show up at your house and hook up the power or, you know, hook up your whatever it is, your light or your furnace, or you don't go out and chop firewood, even if it's from wood heat, like you're going to appreciate it a little bit more. Just like we were talking about our connection with food.
Yeah.
Like one of the wealthiest people I know has a home that is firewood heat only for a reason. So he appreciates it more.
I would live like that.
Yeah.
I'm going the other way. I'm going like, I don't know. I think that there's just this really strong desire for, I call it like an Instagram life, you know? And a lot of those people that I know that are very wealthy, that have all the materials, that could go buy all the materials that they want, like there's a loneliness to that because they haven't fulfilled their own self. So I would say for a young person listening to this, like know that your energy is your currency, and the magnetism that you create within yourself will help you magnetize that life. If you're hungry and greedy and just seeking for it and searching for it and need it just to show it, like that's a whole different side of, I don't know, this value-driven, like you're saying, this value-driven life. It can be, it's greed. I mean, at the end of the day, it's greed.
Yeah.
And is it beautiful? Like, hell yeah, if you can go make that money and still be a good person and still feel good about yourself. And I just feel like that, from what I've seen, is a little bit more rare because like you just get to the next thing.
That, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think where you get that, or where I get that personally, is like if I am reaping so much or sowing so much, reaping and sowing, you know what I mean? Like it's, I guess they kind of go hand in hand.
Like sowing is your creation. What are you creating?
But then I start to reap from that, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you plant so many seeds, you're going to have so many plants, right? Like to take it back to like a harvester's mindset. I can't eat all that myself.
Right.
But like what feels good is sharing it. So like to take it back to that tribal, like sharing it with your community, I think is. Yeah.
Which if, in my opinion, and I know this feels like a really simple solution, but like all these multi-billionaires, like how many do you hear about anymore? Before that, like a millionaire was like a big deal for us in the 90s. Like you're a millionaire. And now it's like how many billionaires?
$1 million wouldn't even change your or my life really right now.
I mean, yeah.
It's crazy.
So that's the thing. Like we're just getting to this point where it's like, is the value diminishing because all of them are there? And if you're there, why wouldn't you carve off a part to make the world a better place?
The gap is getting bigger.
The gap is getting bigger. And I think it could easily shift to like more philanthropy and knowing like if more people had just the fundamental basics, and I know that that can get a little bit tricky, but more of like a gifting, not a taking. Like not we're not going to take what's it like rob from Peter to pay Paul kind of thing. It's like, where's the gift line in that? And going like, oh, I just can't, I guess for me personally, I can't imagine being a billionaire knowing that like a shaving of what I had would really help a lot of people.
I think the understanding in that for me and the real value that I seek now, it's not in my bank account at all.
Yeah.
Like that makes it easier, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like, $1 million in my bank account would make things way easier. I could do
but it doesn't make you a better person unless you intentionally want to be a better person.
Your wealth is in time and community.
My biggest wealth is time.
And friendship.
Yeah, quality time is huge. Yeah.
I think that that's worth more than anything. Because like you look at anybody, and I've been around some super wealthy people for more time than they probably get to spend with some family members.
Same.
Like with some of the artists that I've worked for in my career, and some of the people that I'm around now, and some of my friends even.
Yeah.
And none of them find happiness in the wealth. Like it's almost created more problems for them and less disconnection, because now you don't know if you're having a genuine conversation. What is this person's intentions?
Sure.
What do they want from me?
Yeah.
What do they need from me? Can I get something for free? Like even, I guess I have a lot of really successful friends, and I've never once, like maybe they even have a business, right? So like, say it's making whatever, making these stone tools or whatever. My buddy, my friend Donnie Dust makes all these. There is a level of currency to this, right? Like, I guess, you can go on DonnieDust.com and you can purchase these, right? Like he sells these as a way to like somewhat make a living. He has a YouTube channel to make a living. Like But he had to physically go out, source the stone, harvest the stone, then take the time to nap this to turn it into an actual tool or this beautiful work of art is what I call it. But I would never ask him for one of these for free. Hey, can you give me one of those? Can I have one of those? Like if I want one, like I wanted one, I was gifting one to somebody. This was a couple months ago. And I tried to commission him to make one or something. He was like, oh, that's how I figured out he had a website. Because he's so gracious. He never even shared that with me. Like he's never like so self-absorbed or trying to make money that he, but anyways, he's like, yeah, go on the website and pick something out. So I knew that if I texted him back with like, yeah, this one's cool, or trying to get a deal, I just paid full price for it. I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to buy it.
Well, it's an exchange.
It's an exchange, right? Like
energy,
yeah, I guess that's the biggest thing is I want my friendship to be genuine, but I think a lot of people take that for granted, especially when they see somebody that's super wealthy or has like a ton of success. Hey, you're my friend, they'll hook me up for free, or they'll pay for dinner because have more money than I do, or like that should never be the intention going into it.
Yeah.
And it's funny with a lot of my friends that have all that wealth and stuff is I call it a race to the bill. It's almost like a game that we have now. It's like, who's going to pay the bill no matter where we're at, right? Like who's going to get it, right? Who's has the most strategy, who's called the restaurant. It's almost psychotic to where we're like calling the restaurant or trying to catch the waiter on the side and like make sure that I get the tab and I'm the only one that gets the tab, you know, like.
And in that setting, what if it was the race to like buy someone else's dinner?
Yeah.
Or bring someone else into it.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like that's that ripple that I'm talking about, instead of being like strapped to the energy of like hoarding it. And not saying that that's what you guys are doing, but you're still like benefiting your crew. Like
you're benefiting the tribe. Yeah.
Where's the continuous ripple?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
And this desire for more from the outside perspective of it, like, is it ever enough? Like if you're at 1 billion, that's incredible.
That's disgusting, right? Like
it is, and it isn't. Like hell yeah to you that you like built that and did that. And like, what's the ripple? What's the intention? What's that give take? What's that? What are you doing to have that symbiotic relationship, just like we are with the land? Like you can't keep reaping without re-sowing.
Sure.
And like make that full connection to it, because in my health journey, I could be a billionaire and still get sick. So then what? Like time, money, freedom, quality, energy. Like if all that's already there, then it's just adding to the foundation. Like build the foundation and then add to it, instead of trying to like build these beautiful stained glass windows before you have this strong foundation. You know, it's like that external focus of the Instagram life, but like inside the home is like no quality time, is no nourishing, loving, supporting relationship, is, you know what I mean? It gets to be both. Like I'm not downing somebody that has all this money. I think it's phenomenal. Like what are you doing with it? Because I think worldwide we get to go into this whole shift of being in flow with each other. And it starts with ourselves. Always goes back to, how are you feeling inside of yourself? If you're greedy with your own time, if you're short with your own time, if you're not taking care of yourself, like that's just that energy that's going to come and go, you know?
Yeah. And it kind of robs you of your time.
It's going to rob you of your time. Yeah.
Oh, it's so key.
We've
been at it an hour and a half. You got to roll here pretty soon. I mean, we have a little bit more time. So
we have a little bit more time.
Thank you for coming in today.
Yeah.
We dove down an hour and a half long rabbit hole that I didn't want to stop. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to hear, just because we haven't had time, and if you're comfortable sharing it, with the recent melanoma that you found on your arm. This was all like, what, 6 months ago about, right? Was it summertime?
Yeah, I was in Costa Rica in April.
Okay.
So by the time I got back in May, I kind of knew.
Can you just explain to me your journey with it, and the hard, the good, the bad, like the whole story?
Yeah.
Because I think that there's so many people that benefit from that, but honestly, me too, because I think at some point in my life, I'm going to have somebody super close to me experience it, or I may even myself.
Yeah. At first, just it was complete shock, to be honest. And I feel really grateful for my journey because the doctor initially was in Costa Rica. Talk about seeing both sides of medical in the United States compared to medical there. Like, was it this big, beautiful, pristine hospital? No. Was it incredible care for like a fraction of the cost? Yes. That's like a whole other rabbit hole that we can go down. And I do believe that that's shifting. And even going before that, like being invited to Costa Rica now feels like a divine path.
Really?
And saying yes. Like, I didn't go out and pick that trip. I was invited, and there was a mix up of the time. So this company down there, they have just like a really incredible adventure retreat center called the Rios. And you can only float.
I love Costa Rica.
I had never been, so it was
Really?
like high on my list.
Oh my God.
But you can only float or hike into the center. And so they have like just done an incredible job of.
So you have to take a raft in, or
you raft the Pacuare River, or you hike in. Like, those are the only two options.
That's badass. Like, how far do you have to travel?
The raft is pretty decent. It's a decent raft. And we actually couldn't do it that day because the water was really high. So we got to experience the journey of like 4-wheel driving all the way down in there.
Plus there's freaking pythons and iguanas and like piranhas, all the shit, right?
We didn't see too much of that, but I know it's out there.
That's awesome.
And so the intention was they bring retreat leaders or people that are in the health and wellness community. They bring them down there, show them a really good time, and then you go back and tell your people and bring your people down there.
Of course,
incredible business model.
Smart.
So we get there, and it was very like, we were just very held the whole way. Like, my travel is usually solo travel. I'm figuring shit out the whole way. Like, maybe this will work. Maybe that person knows. Maybe like I'm just very
Those are the best trips, though.
The best trips. Yeah. But this was very like held. And the whole time I feel so supported. Like, they had the hotel lined up. They had the transportation lined up. It just like was very, very like, shout out to the Rios. You guys are killing it. So we get down there and they're like, so there was a mix up on dates. The retreat leadership program actually happened last week. And now it's just you and your friend here with the owners. And we were like, what? This is so sick. So it ended up just being this like super customed, super like just intimate, and we got to ask so many questions. We got to see parts of their jungle that most people probably do not. And so I say all that because I got to know one of the owners, oh God, I'm going to totally butcher his name. It's Arteros. And it was him and his wife and his kids were there, and one of the other owners. So it was just like very family. And the last night at dinner, he pointed it out and was like, that looks weird. And originally I was like, oh God, you noticed. Like, I just felt so embarrassed. And then I told him,
like, how big was it? And
it was maybe like that big, like
so
less than a dime.
That you were conscious of? Like,
I had seen it a couple of months prior, but I just didn't think much of it. I knew it needed attention, but I didn't have a doctor. I was on my way to do this trip, super busy.
Could you feel something like?
Yeah, it was like, it was raised up. It was like raised up. But I mean,
did you have a bad feeling about it prior to that, or did you just kind of like shrug it off, just like, whatever?
I was just like, oh, that's weird. That doesn't look pretty. And it was like right on my like the front side of my wrist. So when he saw it, I was very vulnerable with him, and thank goodness for my like experience with being vulnerable and just saying like, yeah, I don't really trust the doctors, and I don't have a doctor in Steamboat, and I know I need to deal with it when I get back. And he's like, oh, I have a phenomenal doctor in San Jose. When we get back to the city, let's like call her. And this was on a Friday. My flight was Tuesday, and she fit me in on Monday. So on Monday, I'm taking an Uber in Spanish by myself down to the San Jose hospital, really not thinking much of it. We talked about this the other day, like this faith. I have established this deep faith in me where I know like he was an angel on my journey going like, that doesn't look right. And I have somebody that can help you. And I was just like, sure, why not? So I went down by myself, and I still to this day don't know how I found her office. It was this huge massive 3 buildings of a hospital, and I'm just like navigating around in Spanish going like, okay, so I find her, I get there, and immediately she's like, oh, this does not look good. We need to take this off right now. Like, how are you with anesthesia? And I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
And she's like, no, local anesthesia. I'm like, okay, I could do that. So she
Was
just like,
anything going through your mind like this could be?
no.
Like you just 100% trust, 100% faith.
Yeah.
Because you had this connection with somebody that was personally.
Yeah.
What if she was like, we need your kidneys?
I probably would have done that in the States. I'm like, I need my mom.
Right. No, it's crazy
but it
though.
was
Like
weird.
some people do get robbed of their body organs. Like,
Oh God.
it's insane.
Yeah. No, it wasn't
Okay.
that at all.
Right.
I felt very safe.
Yeah.
I felt very, and again, I don't know, like maybe I'm ignorantly blissful of just like, and I can be very trusting, but I felt the energy of him. I felt his care. I felt her care right when I got there. Was it a little, I'm just not a doctor person. So I had that like nervous energy because I'm going into a doctor's office
But you
in
were kind
San
of
Jose,
trusting your
Costa
gut,
Rica.
right?
Yeah. And I was just like, just take the mole off, you know? And so she cuts it off and hands it to me in this little glass jar with serum and is like, take this to the labs. I was like,
So
what?
then you had to travel with?
No, in the hospital.
Oh.
But still traveling like
Like a nurse isn't going to do it for you,
No,
right? And
no.
charge you $60,000 to
Literally.
take it down the hallway?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I'm walking around the hospital holding my mole going like, labs. Finally, this lady's like, I speak English. Let me help you. So she gets me to labs. One of the main things that the doctor said was like, please have your labs translated into English. And that was one of the most expensive parts of this whole thing.
Was translating it to English?
And I'm like, I probably could have done it through ChatGPT.
They're like,
What got
let's
her?
get these gringos.
I mean, the labs for the actual testing was $30.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then
So what's
I flew
the
home.
currency? It's pesos there, right? Or
No. I don't remember what it was. But I paid everything on a card just because I was like, if I can exchange this and
So much easier
see
now.
it and just whatever. And so, so then I flew home Tuesday, get back and stayed in Evergreen for a little while, get back to home. And she reaches out to me directly and was like, this is bad. You need to go to the doctor immediately. And I was like, what? Okay. So and I can't read the pathology report. And yeah, I mean, I could like there's now that I know the words that are on it, but originally it's just like a lot of big words that I had never known. So the top word was like invasive melanoma. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound like it's very good. So I get into the doctor in Steamboat, and luckily I had that pathology because it got me in straight away. So it was like a couple weeks later, I'm in the local doctor, and within 10 minutes, they were on the phone with the Vail Cancer Center, which is like the top cancer doctors in the country. And I didn't know that at the time, but I was just like,
can I ask a question real quick? And I
Yeah.
don't mean to interrupt, but what did the Steamboat doctors or these doctors that you went to think about the practice that was done in Costa Rica? Were they like shoving it off, like it's not as good, or were they? They
didn't give me any impression in that sense, but they were all very confused of why I did that down there. They were questioning me and my decision. And I just was like, I'm not going to let you make me think like I did something wrong or bad.
Right.
Just like, wait, you weren't living there and you just did this? And I was like, yeah. I was like, the divine sent me this man and this doctor was there and I just said yes.
That was my first like gut reaction was like, you trusted somebody after meeting them to then perform a surgery on you basically with some anesthesia, right? Like,
I mean, it was like local in the wrist, but yeah.
But still, that's pretty trusting.
I felt like at that
For
moment,
most people,
like
it would be for me.
I didn't feel scared about what it could be, but I did feel the pressure of this needs to go. Like him saying something as a man that like barely knew me to notice this like thing. And I was wearing mala beads on it a lot because I was just like,
trying to cover it up, you think?
Yeah, a little bit. Like it had gotten to that point where I was like, okay, this thing is not looking good. I knew in my heart, like, okay, this thing needs to be removed. I had felt it. I knew that. And so I think there was a bit of a pressure of like, okay, if you're here and you have the ability, take it off.
Sure.
Like what, like what do I have to lose? I don't know. Like, I guess I just didn't think. I've become a pretty trusting person in my growth of faith. And it all kind of began when I moved to New Zealand and just like really trusting the New Zealand people and the culture down there, like opened up a whole new.
It's different, right?
It's different. And there's just care. And I mean, I could go into a whole other podcast on just my journey there, but it was like, you can trust people when you start trusting yourself. And at that point I I didn't know that. And New Zealand showed me that. And I knew that going into Costa Rica, it all started coming together, like the storyline of like, oh, you were invited here for a reason. Oh, there was no one else on this journey besides you and your friend for a reason. This man got to know you, like just the layers, because I'm conscious, because I'm living intentionally, because I'm deep in my practices, because Spirit's guiding me all the time, because I'm listening to the signs and the synchronicities and they're there. Like I'm awake enough to hear it and trust it.
Like you've consciously in the last 6 years done a drastic shift from when I knew you before to how you're just living a healthier lifestyle, whether it's like it's with so much more intention, right?
So much more every day.
It's kind of wild that these things come up when you sometimes make those shifts too. Like,
yeah.
You would almost think it would happen when you're treating yourself really, really bad.
Totally.
And like not taking care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a result of that and it's finally catching up or something, but like.
Yeah. And I wanted to make a reason for it. I wanted to be like, what the fuck? I've been taking such good care of myself. Why now?
Yeah.
I was kind of mad. There was anger in there for sure. Once I got deep into like all these treatments I was going to need, you know, so I get to Steamboat doctor and she's like, so what they're reading on there is they're seeing invasive melanoma and almost a 4 millimeter depth and a concern on any mole or lesion on your skin. Anything over 1 millimeter is concerning. And so mine had a 4 millimeter, you know, that's deep in the topical skin of like where, you know, where it's located. And so she's saying this is deep. And the concern with that is it travels through your lymphatic system. And when you're young and healthy, like your lymphatic system is one of the only systems that needs manual movement. We talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
Tapping.
Can we dive into that a little bit?
Yeah. So lymphatic system, so your blood pumps, your nerves move, your lymphatic system is something that needs to be, you know, either working out, a lot of walking even does lymphatic movement and drainage. I do a lot of tapping now, which I think I shared with you that like 3 months prior to this event, I started adding tapping into my yoga classes, which like right underneath your earlobes, like there's tapping right here in your glands. So it's a gland. So these lymphs are glands all over your body.
I've been doing it religiously for the last probably year and a half. And just I've noticed a huge difference in like inflammation and just how I feel. It's actually part of my morning ritual is to like kind of that meditation prayer time for me is some of it is like, I wouldn't call it yoga. Well, some of them are. I mean, like just
okay, really quick.
stretching,
The definition of yoga is breath.
Okay.
We have made it a workout.
Sure.
It's a work in. Yoga is breath and conscious thought.
Okay.
The workout's incredible. The asana gets our body moving, but really the asana, the hard practice, the shapes that we take, the difficulties, the challenges we feel help us let go of those thick, stuck, sticky emotions that we've been holding on to so that we can sit in our yoga longer, which is breath and consciousness. Like that's yoga. So I'm here to like shift that just to let you know.
And meditation, right?
I call it stillness a lot because people have this, I guess I should just use meditation more often, but like people immediately take meditation to what we've learned in the Western world of like no thought and it's Buddhist and it's a religious practice. But like meditation is just stillness of mind and being the observer of your thoughts. Prayer.
Yeah.
Stillness, reset, energy grounding, like all of that is that huge practice of shifting your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the lymphatic system goes like it's become kind of part of that ritual because I can do both at once, right?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like this time, that 15 minutes that I have is time for me to reflect, to set intention on my day. What do I need to accomplish? Like I'm kind of figuring that out. And I purposely go into that with nobody's up in the house. I haven't had any interaction. I'm not looking at my phone. My phone is still shelved.
Nice.
I'm not even really conscious. I guess I'm conscious of the time because I have an alarm that's set.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'm waking up on my own. But the intention is to just go into that. But like one of those rituals is to put my butt like flat against the wall and then get my legs elevated and then kind of, I guess, massaging those like lightly. It's not massaging. I guess I never really tapped, but like rubbing behind the ears, inside of the legs, under the armpits, around the neck, right? Like collarbone, clavicle area. And it's a huge difference.
Yeah. So our lymphs are a filter.
Mm-hmm.
So you're helping that filter pump better.
Is that the same in men and women genetically? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it differently.
Okay.
I haven't like searched specifically. I would think so. But
this is going back to that feminine side of stuff. That like a lot of females are embracing this much more than men.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
well, because men want this like masculine pump. They want the workout. They want the result. Yeah, you want the biceps. And women are getting, and I think just as much women are getting into that too, like learning that lifting heavy as we get older is so good for our bone density. Like all of that, it's all intertwined. Like we've made it these separate things, but actually it's all so intertwined. But yeah, getting that lymph, so big lymph drainage, lymph areas are below the ears in that gland area, under the armpits, which is important, especially for breasts and breast cancer, because those are the big lymph nodes.
Really?
Like, that's going to be a big tap zone where you really just want to like get right underneath your armpit and all the way down your side. Like that's a whole zone. And then in your armpit, so there's in your elbow crease, like there's a big one there. And so those elbows, armpits, groin, behind the knees. So those are clusters. And so if you can tap those areas, it's going to drain, but there's thousands of lymphs all over your body.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just interesting that I had already kind of started adding that intuitively. Again, another sign and synchronicity where I'm like, wow, I'm already intuitively on that path. How interesting. And so when they started saying lymph, I'm like, what?
You knew exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yes and no. Like I knew, but I didn't know.
But they're everywhere in your body.
They
so
are.
If this melanoma would have spread to the lymphatic system, basically it's going to send cancer through your entire body, right?
Which is why they were on high alert quick.
Wow.
When you're older and way older now in our generations, right? Like 60, 70 isn't old anymore. It's like 80, 90. When you're that much older and you're like more sedative, is that the right word? Where you're just like chilling more?
Sedentary.
Sedentary. Yeah, thank you. And you're just like on your butt more and you're chilling. It's not going to move as fast. But being 42, being super active, being super healthy, my body is, and maybe even, here's the other thing, like maybe even me 6 years ago when I was drinking heavy, maybe it wouldn't have moved as fast. Like, I don't really know. It's like hard to say. But just taking myself, meeting myself exactly where I'm at in that morning.
Most smokers develop lung cancer after they quit.
Right.
It's not like
it's almost like the body has a break where it's like, oh, now I'm like now cleansing and clearing. Yeah. So it is crazy. Interesting. So they sent me to Vail, immediate brain MRI.
What?
Immediate nuclear medicine study, which is where they injected nuclear medicine right in the mole site, which that medicine then moved through me to show what lymphs it could be going towards. And it actually tracked into the lymphs in my armpit. So that was of concern. They did a PET CT scan, which is scanning all my organs and making sure like nothing was in there. So in the midst of this, like super scary, super emotional. And I didn't share a ton with a lot of people, like obviously family and close friends. I kind of kept it close to my heart and just like, okay, how can I sit with this? Because to me, it was like, if I was going to be talking about it out loud a lot, like it just felt like it was just giving it more power. So if I could just sit with it and go like, stay calm, keep doing your rituals, keep sticking to, your yoga practices, what is the future you want to create? Like, if this is a thing, go there when it's a thing, instead of letting myself run 10 steps ahead, because they're talking like straight away. The girl at the Steamboat office, who's a PA, she's like, chemo. She went straight into chemo. And I'm like, dude, you have no clue. Like what, And I know that's just her job, but like why? Which is interesting because I've learned recently that there's this thing called nocebo, where they're giving people these like deadlines of life. You have 6 months to live. Yes. You're going to be on cancer. This is going to go this way. They're trying to kind of like play God in a way when they don't know. And are they just using their medical knowledge? Sure. But like, if you say you have 6 months to live, where does your brain go? Where does your energy go? Where does your like nervous system go? You can say, hey, this could be deadly. This could be really major. Like, here's the ways to take care of yourself, to elongate that, to prolong that. To have this longevity. Like you're giving somebody a dead stop on time. Like you got 2 months. What are you going to do with it? Like I think, so they're trying to make nocebo wrong and illegal instead of a placebo where it's like, okay, we got this. Like if you get that straight encouragement straight away, like one person died from it, but you could be the one that lives. You know what I mean? Like why gift that person this like hard stop?
Yeah, it's interjecting with negative energy, like right out of the gate.
And even
Worst
hearing
case
the word
scenario.
chemo, I'm like, dude, what? You're going right there. So I started bawling. I'm by myself. You know, like all the ingredients of like this first appointment, I don't know. I just saw like a side of the medical community. I'm like, dude, come on. You are not being intentional. Those are unintentional words. And maybe you are being intentional to try and scare me. I'm not really sure. So all those tests came back fine, clear, which was good. The nuclear medicine study did go into my armpit lymphs, so they kind of knew where to track it. Then my biggest meetings were virtual because I was in Steamboat there in Vail, and it was with the plastic surgeon mostly because their biggest concern was like, how can we get the most surface area off of there? What they've learned with melanoma is if they get 3 millimeters, or is it centimeters? 3 centimeters around the original wound area, around the original cancer site, if they can get 3 centimeters of healthy flesh, they say that they can completely stop it. So that was the concern because the wrist area has very little to play with. So they knew they were going to have to do a skin graft, and they knew it was going to be like a very precise surgery. So the thing I loved that I share with this plastic surgeon was he was like, we've done our research on you, which is so fascinating. We know the type of person you present yourself to be. You're the buzz of our cancer center right now because of your age, because of the depth, probably because I went to Costa Rica. I'm sure they were like, this fucking chick.
Yeah.
So he's like, please don't love and light your way through this. Please let me do the surgery and get rid of it, and then do your red light, and then do your meditation, and then do your yoga. Like, I see you and I see all of that, which as a plastic surgeon in Vail blew my mind. And again, I'm going to take it woo. I feel like I attracted that type of doctor to say like, I see you and let me do my job.
Yeah, because it is a mixture of both.
Totally.
Right?
And that's what he said. He goes, 5 years ago, speaking of 5 years, I would have thought it was bullshit. But in the last few years, he's like, I've really honed in on cold plunge, on sauna, on red light therapy, on sound baths, on meditation. He's like, I do all that. And I know that that's what's going to keep me healthy and grounded. And if something like this comes up, let's get rid of it.
Right.
So immediately it built this trust within me because he was speaking my language. And then I'm like, okay, here I am. I called in this surgeon, this Vail top doctor surgeon who's saying like, I see your love and light woo-woo lifestyle. And we can balance that with this like very Western medicine ability to treat it. So yeah, leading into surgery was really intense. I had to just keep like trusting the process. And they removed all that skin on my arm. They removed a couple lymph nodes. They pulled the skin for the skin graft from there onto my arm. And I thought I was going to be back teaching yoga in a week. Like my mind was just like, oh, this is fine. We're just like doing this thing. And it was a month at least of recovery and just like really going through a dark place of sadness, of anger, and of just recognizing this was a time for me to really, truly slow down and heal.
Man, this has all happened so recently, within the last 6 months, right?
Yeah.
You seem like you're in a really good headspace now. Are you still battling with some of that anger and some of that?
No.
What is you think have been the biggest factors for you to go through all of that, go through this emotional roller coaster, having these divine moments, changing so much in your life in the last 5 years? How do you get to that point where you're at right now to look at this experience positively? Because I think if I were to be told that I only had 6 months to live, I would be leaning on my friends and want to know your experience and how did you do it, or how did a certain person deal with faith in this? Like I'd be taking it all in from all different angles. But it seems like in listening to this, and correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of shut down. We're like, I'm going to focus on myself. I guess I would do that too. Like I would only be taking in what I want to take in, and I would be blocking out the noise that I don't want to hear. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what?
I think the thing
are you still figuring that out, or is that something you can talk about?
I mean, I've always, right? Like it's a consistent journey. Every day is different. I will say the last like month, something has shifted in me where I feel stronger than I have. And what really got me through it was feeling it, sitting with the feelings. I'm no longer numbing my life I have some of my own.
Because of sobriety, you think? Like, is that what you mean by sitting with your feelings and like?
Yeah.
Because I think we stick a Band-Aid on it, or I need to go on this retreat, or I need to go on this ayahuasca journey, or I need to have a fifth of Jack Daniels because I'm feeling down. Like,
right? I didn't do that. I sat with it, which I recognized in my heavy drinking days. It was avoidance and numbing. And stay in the party, stay in the light, stay in the lit, which it just snowballed into making it darker and harder. Now I can
when you get out of that light. When you get out of the lit.
Yeah. I mean, to just sit with it and go like, wow, I'm really upset about this. Like, I'm pissed. What's my anger tools? Like scream in the pillow, go punch a punching bag, work out harder that day. Or do I need a lot more rest? Did I give myself that time and that place to rest?
So I guess at that point, you were obviously tuning into that mentally. Were you just following feelings to get you through that? Or like what got you through those, like the day-to-day practices? Like you would wake up and be like, fuck, I feel horrible today. I need to rest, or I feel like I need to move. Were you just following?
I mean, my staples are get outside.
Yes.
Get sunshine. Get nature.
So huge.
I could be in the darkest place. Thank God for my pup. Like when I was going through my breakup of my engagement 6 years ago, when I was going through sobriety, I've had like 4 or 5 really, really painful things happen in the last 5 years that I would probably be in a lot more of a depressed state. But I had this dog to say, we got to go outside because I got to go to the bathroom, So it's like, then the second I step outside, and now I've recognized that. So with or without her, I have that tool. Well, there's
science behind it too. Like you listen to any of these neurophysiologists. So we just had Doc Caden. Like it's so important.
Oh, huge.
To start your day with sunlight.
Yep.
And not caffeine and not a screen and not all these negative things. Like just go outside for 15 minutes.
And I had those practices before. That's I think the biggest message in this is like build the practice, build the foundation before you need it.
Yes.
Don't wait until you're sick to start. Don't wait until you have it all figured out and you're ready to start the podcast or to do the thing that you want or to go on that trip. Especially in your foundational everyday practices.
Make it part of the journey.
Part of the journey before you need it. Because if I was trying to get sober now, if I was trying to find myself, if I was trying to practice yoga or practice spirituality or practice meditation in the midst of this chaos, forget it.
This is an old Hell's Angels saying, but I love it, right? It's like, if you stay ready, you don't have to be ready. Maybe they didn't originate it, but I know that that's a saying that they say all the time. And it's maybe it's in an act of violence or something, or they're meaning that. But like, it fits in anywhere, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Having that foundational, okay, no, I can go back to this. I know I can get up in the morning. I'm not connected to my phone first thing, just like you. That has made a huge difference in my life. I don't shove my face with caffeine first thing. I get outside. I take some time for red light, for meditation. I get some good words in my mind, whether it's like a guided meditation or a podcast or something. Like I'm just feeling like, what am I consuming? Setting that intention. And if I set all that and I'm still exhausted, I'm like, I need a few more hours of sleep. I'm in a privileged place where I can do that because I've built that life. I've built my life to be able to support me through that, and like, could I phone a friend? Like my family is pivotal, super foundational for me. Like I have a handful of great friends. So I would say foundation, like having the foundation to be able to feel it all, because this could have prolonged for a year of anger and sadness and blame and wondering what I could have done different. And I went through that. I journaled about it. At Harmony, we sit in ceremony a lot where we're sitting and just talking and feeling our way through it. I'm admitting to probably 10 perfect strangers, this is the hard thing I'm growing through. And then they say oh, wow, me too kind of thing. And that camaraderie, that community that you've been talking about, tribal a lot. I think we're missing that, where we're like sitting together. It was around a fire before. Now we're lighting candles because that's the best that we can do. And sometimes we go do fire. Sometimes we do have that ability. But for the most part, like gathering, sharing, being seen and held and heard by each other is such deep medicine.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's so much. I mean, it's honestly what I get out of this podcast. It's like, short of sitting by a campfire in the backcountry, like you're not going to have a conversation like this.
Totally.
Well, I really appreciate, we are coming up on time.
Nice.
I need to be respectful of your time, Nikki.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed having you. You got to come back
Yeah.
more than every 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
I know it's been a lot, and it's
Yeah.
been a lot for us too. So it was never intentional to not
Yeah.
have you back sooner or anything like that. It's just
No.
life happens,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, the last 5 years have been.
But what a morning. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Having you in here.
Thank you.
I thank you for your friendship first and foremost, and thank you for sharing those vulnerable moments. You know, you never know who's listening to this right now and
Yeah.
get something out. I got something out of it. So
Me too. Yeah.
thank you. I
Live
love you.
live
Yeah.
life fully.
You're
That's
awesome.
it. Yeah.
You've been a great friend over the years, even before I started the podcast. So thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Real quick,
Yeah.
before we get you out of here, because we're at a hard stop in 3 minutes.
At one.
And I'm sorry we didn't get to this.
okay.
You have so much going on. If people wanted to contact you or go to your YouTube channel or anything like that, we have some of that pulled up here.
Oh, nice.
So what's the best way to get a hold of you if they want to come to like a yoga class or?
Yeah. So I would say anybody and everybody can follow me on my journey on Here We Grow, which is my Instagram, Here We Grow XO.
That's your podcast too?
That's my podcast too, which is going to be picking back up. I've been on a little bit of a lull because I've been taking care of myself. And I think that that's another part of the message is like sometimes the grind gets to pause, to refuel, to heal yourself. And I think taking that pause, now I'm feeling stronger and ready. And so here we go. My last episode was Costa Rica. You can hear,
Was it?
You
Really?
can hear about
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. If you're in Steamboat, Harmony Yoga.
Okay. Is this the website here?
Yep. That's my yoga studio, which we're really expanding. In the new year, I'm going to be expanding into more coaching again and kind of getting back to that, like just helping people feel held and strong through their practices without making it this like big, crazy, huge thing. It's just like daily, simple. I want to keep it so simple because we have so much information and such busy, distracted, crazy lives, most of us. How can we just add these simple tools into our life? So I'm going to be really building upon that in the new year. Adding a retreat to Costa Rica.
Let's go. I want to go.
Yeah, this retreat center is
Not
phenomenal.
very good at yoga, but
Yeah.
come down there and hang out.
Are you breathing?
You're right. I can
Yoga's
breathe.
breath.
Yeah, you had me do it at the beginning of this.
Yeah. And my yoga is so chill. Like it's just anybody can do it. You can walk in and feel comfortable. That's the big thing in my studio is community, connection, feeling seen. Anybody at any time can walk in there. And that's what I've like really just been at the forefront of my intention for Harmony is helping people feel good.
It's rad.
Yeah.
If people don't live in the Steamboat area or in Colorado in general, or maybe they're not planning on visiting Steamboat, is there any way that they can connect with you digitally? I know you have your Instagram, you have the YouTube channel. Do you offer any of those things like digitally?
If somebody wanted to do one-on-one connection, for sure. I had all these videos to post so people could follow along with my yoga online, but YouTube's really annoying about the music rights. And so I had music playing in the background because it was a yoga class and I uploaded one and it was like, oh, you don't have the
copyright.
Yeah.
Strike.
So
I can help you with that.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So
There's
I don't know
ways
what I'm going to do
around
with that. I feel kind of spread thin and adding the digital part right now is a lot, but if like one-on-one sessions or I think a lot of my online coaching is going to end up being one-on-one Zoom type stuff or I'm going to be creating some courses where it'll be a little bit of everything, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of stillness, a little bit of nutrition, a little bit of whatever. And then it's a course that people can follow along. So it's kind of all right there in one package. That's really my intention for the New Year's, to create a few of those. So you could just like buy into the course, follow along, and then we can work together deeper into that if they would like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're listening to this now, links to the Instagram, the podcast, the YouTube channel, Harmony Yoga or harmonysteamboatyoga.com. There's live links in the show notes, whether you're listening on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, whatever. We'll add all those in. Visit the Mountainside podcast. Check out episode. I don't know what episode this will be. I don't have somebody sitting in the hot seat there to tell me. But we will.
We did this all on our own.
Yeah, just go look for Nikki in there. Whether I know your past episode was episode 27.
Nice.
If you want to go way back in the archives,
I kind of want
which is
to.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go back and listen to it, but
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it with a lot of shame.
No.
I was so bad. Pride.
Be prideful of where you are.
Yeah. It'll let me know where I'm at today.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you again. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for
welcome.
being here. Thanks
you.
everybody for listening.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Mountainside podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside podcast at. If you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.